What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. All right, so excuse the noise in the background. My neighbor's mowing his lawn. So today's gonna be the first video I'm doing other than the intro video on my new Ram 1500. And this is gonna be on pretty much a quick hack or mod and saving yourself some money for some storage in the tailgate. Now, of course, the tailgate's pretty roomy, 5'4", 5'7" feet is what it is. You know, and it's made more for carrying some other stuff, but what about groceries? I don't yet have the back seat, under the seat storage compartment, which a lot of trucks do. You get them from Dodge or Rough Country or whatever. But I got an idea, and this idea came from my buddy, Ronaldo, which you guys have seen him in the past video when we did the Escalade, the repair for the rear bumper. He is the one that works at the tint shop and does all these wraps and things like that. You guys check that video out. But he gave me the idea, except I'm going to do it a little bit different here. What he did give me was the idea of how you can make this, and actually, now Rough Country sells basically like a storage compartment that slides in and out. It's got straps on the side, hooks onto these hooks right here. And of course, when the tailgate's down, you can slide it out because it's got some straps. It slides out, you pull it back in, tighten up the straps, and the thing will just sit there in the spot. I'm gonna make something similar, but it's gonna cost a lot less. I think if you go with Rough Country, it's $150 or $170 for it. This is gonna be a lot cheaper. The only thing it is not gonna do is slide all the way out. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this. Went to Home Depot and picked up these Husky stackable storage bins. So check this, these are about $14.98 a piece. There's two of them. Got some of these, and then some straps. And I'm gonna put everything down on the list below so you guys can get these things. And this is a quick and easy install and saves you a ton of money. And all it requires is these two bins, some straps, some hooks, and some bolts. And I would say I would probably have you use wing nuts before using regular nuts, which I will change that up when I have some time here. But I'm gonna show you guys exactly what we're gonna use and how we're gonna do this. What you're gonna need here, of course, is the bins from Home Depot, the storage bins. The Husky steel wire ring anchor points and the lashing straps. You're gonna need 4 1.5 or 2-inch bolts and nuts, 2 6-inch bolts and nuts. These are all 3/8 by the way, and 1 10-inch bolts and nuts to be able to hold these two together. What we're gonna do here is gonna measure from this anchor point from the middle part down to the truck bed, and then that way we get the measurement for where we're gonna put the new anchor points on the box. So it was about 4 inches is actually what it is, what measures out from there. Be careful with the grooves, of course. Make your mark right there, right at the 4-inch mark. And then we're gonna drill our first hole for our anchor point. Go ahead and make the first hole on there so you put your first anchor point. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did this here, of course, again, for trial and error. And when I did these anchor points here, I didn't notice one thing, that the strap was gonna be too far back. So you guys will notice towards the end of the video, and I do have an update at the end of this video, that I actually moved the anchor points to the front of it. But again, if you guys wanna put them back here, that's perfectly fine. You're gonna drill your other hole right in here, and then basically put in the other bolt on the other hole right here. And then you're gonna basically grab it with some nuts that you will fit these bolts as well. Again, there are 3/8-inch nut on here. And the same thing you're gonna do when you put these anchor points at whatever position you decide to put it on. I mean, it's up to you where you wanna put these anchor points in the straps. Once you have your anchor points all set, do the same thing to the other box. And then you're gonna grab the strap, hook it around the anchor point on the bed, and then just tighten them up, give them some slack, of course, and then we're gonna put them together pretty much next to each other. That way we could run our bolts that are gonna hold them together and make it like one giant storage box. Now to, of course, get them nice and even and put the screws through this, you're gonna mark them right where you're gonna put the screws in, make a line across from both of them, and then drill through each one of them, of course aligning the lines you just made. You're gonna put your bolts through and hook it up on one side. You're gonna put the bolt in, and then on the next side you're gonna put on your nut. Now I would probably consider using wing nuts, which again I will talk about this at the end of the video, because it'll probably be better when you're trying to take these off, and it'll be easier to take them off with wing nuts instead of just trying to unbolt. Now once you get everything bolted down, now it becomes one giant unit, which is basically what you want.
Now the only problem here was basically the straps. The release points on these were buried all the way in here when these boxes are all side to side, and it's kind of hard to get to them. But again, at the end of the video, I'll show you I did it a different way. And again, this is just giving you guys an idea of that you can use these boxes. You guys make up your own way of doing these and the way you set them up, and of course how you release them. Again, my friend that gave me this idea actually used a hole on the back of it to hold them in place, basically, so the boxes don't slide back. He's got a pole from one side of the bed to the other, and he just kind of holds them in place that way so the boxes don't move anywhere. But all in all, this is pretty much the idea of the whole thing, where it's removable and you can put it back in its spot, of course, and then tighten up the straps and you're good to go.
Okay, it's been about 3 weeks, so I'm gonna do a quick update on how it's been working out for me. So far, everything has been working great. Now, I know a lot of people don't have the splitting tailgate. I do. So when the splitting tailgate, you use that feature, you're getting a lot closer. Of course, you lose the whatever 2 feet of distance you have between you and here, but it still works good. Let me show you guys how this is working. So of course, here you're nuts to separate everything. So I leave them hand tightened. I am gonna upgrade these to some wing nuts to make it quicker, but right now, I could loosen them up by hand, and they've been holding perfectly fine. No issues there. Of course, that's this one and the one that's back here as well. Once you do that, you can separate both the boxes. Now, when it comes to the hook, what I did is basically, instead of keeping the hooks that I installed in the back all the way up there, I put them in the front. And the reason for that is I was noticing whenever I needed to reach the lever to loosen the belt, I had to reach my hand back here in this area, and it's a very tight fit right there. So what I did instead is basically put this hook in here. I did shorten that belt because this thing was just very, very long. You can now just push on the locking mechanism right here, pull forward enough there, and I got these hooks right here. You can unhook this just like that, and then the boxes come out. When you go put it back in, hook it back up, and then pull the strap to tighten the boxes back on there, and you're good to go. So that I did that because, again, it's all trial and error how I was making this. And again, the rough country one, you can slide it out and everything, which is pretty cool. This one, of course, you can't, but it does cost you less than a quarter of the price of what the rough country one costs you. So if you guys did like the video and think this is a good idea, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. More videos on the Ram coming up soon. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.